Hi, welcome to Soul Searching Tarot. My name is Leonore, and I know I look like shit, but whatever. I mean, I'm literally like about to go to bed, but felt compelled to talk about the age of Aquarius. If you don't want to hear about the age of Aquarius, you could click off now because I'm about to rant a little bit, and it's a reason why I just was like, I need to get on camera and talk about the age of Aquarius. If you want to stay, join me. It's going to be a very short video. Sorry, every time I scratch my nose, it's because I'm tapped in. I hate doing that on camera, guys. I really do. I apologize. All right, and I'm gonna channel some things. And I felt right now was a perfect moment. So I do apologize about the way I look. This is why sometimes I don't even get on camera because I'm like, I look like shit. But I wanted to show my face today, or tonight. It's not even day. It's like late at night. I think it's 11 o'clock at night. I don't even know. But I know some people I don't know what the age of Aquarius means, and I'm going to go into the simple fact that the age of Aquarius is just a constellation. It's what astrologers use to calculate the length of the constellation. It's just really as simple as that. If you look at their astrology calendar, which is super complicated to even look at, just the fact that you're looking at all these like squares and triangles and lateral, sextile, and with numbers and then little stars to go with it. It's just, don't even bother. If you're into it, you're into it. That's a different story. I've been studying astrology since I was a teenager, but I really never felt compelled to really get into it. Maybe because the math work kind of turned me off. But I do have, a couple of people that I follow on YouTube, and whether they know it or not, they're like mentors to me. I love listening to them. So my rant. You ready for this? I'm gonna be looking down because there's such a vast of information. I don't know if you see this. I'm not gonna go through all of that, so don't get intimidated. It's a really short video. You can't really talk about the age of Aquarius without talking about the age of Pisces. We started this whole age thing on the age of Pisces, 01 AD, after death, after the death of Christ. So that's when we started, after death, 01 is when the age of Pisces started. Now, I always wondered why Pisces. And so it's not that Jesus was born, in the sign of Pisces. He didn't even die like at the sign of Pisces. It was more like the spring equinox. Like that's more Aries. Aries is the spring. But however, Lent does start in the sign of Pisces. And what are the Pisces symbol? They're two fishes, right? And I was raised as a Catholic, but I wasn't really hardcore into it. I love all types of religions. I do not discriminate against any type of religion at all. I am super open. You'll be surprised how much I know, because I love hearing about history. And so this is not a religious rant at all, as I'm talking about astrology, and I do tarot card reading. FYI. No tarot card reading today, guys. No, not today. All right, so Lent starts in the sign of Pisces. We got the two fishes, and like I was saying before I digressed, people eat, I think, fish for like a week or something. I know that my mom would cook fish on Good Friday, or that was like Lent for us. But people take Lent very serious, you know. And then after that, you know, Jesus was betrayed, crucified. And I want to talk about the age of Pisces, because like I said, I can't start with talking about the age of Aquarius without talking about the age of Pisces and then going into the age of Capricorn. Now, these ages last for an estimate of 2,100 years. Estimate, I'm estimating, rounding the numbers. But they do last that long. And so Neptune rules Pisces. So what is Neptune? I haven't talked about Pisces yet. As a matter of fact, so funny why I was guided to do this, because Pisces is going to be my next video. I'm going to do a reading on Pisces and talk about Pisces, the zodiac sign. Maybe I was compelled to do this because of my next video. But the age of Pisces has a human race, what we went through in that time frame. You know, we're talking about the demise of the Roman Empire. We're talking about secret societies founded, including the Illuminati. There were truths that were covered or destroyed. Talking about the Nazis. There was a veil over our eyes for a very long period. Racial boundaries and even gender was separated. There was a system behind this age where everything was misconstrued before BC, meaning the age of BC, before Christ. And, you know, the rise of the Roman Empire and the people of Egypt and other I'm talking about BC. So any cultures, regions that happened in the age of BC, all that was basically mostly destroyed. And so we depict kind of BC well, they're not, that was like, it's a shame because there was so much knowledge that was acquired in that era, and for the age of Pisces to have destroyed the truth or misconstrued it, hid the truth, basically put a veil in the eyes of the people, and when I mean people, I mean the human race. Very little people know about the real truth, Those people are probably dead. There are books out there, even in the United States, there are books that you may read upon these type of history that's not taught in school. This one guy was telling me one day how Yale has this wonderful library. Some of their books you can't check out, and not only can you not check them out, they're like literally chained to a podium, and there's a guard looking at you. And that's a type of information that is being or was being hidden. It still is, but we're now in the age of Aquarius. And what is the age of Aquarius? Well, the truth seeker. And so we are now in this age of Aquarius where we're going to rise up either has occult leaders, because Aquarius do rule occults, as well as truth seekers, as well as acknowledging enlightenment. Sorry, it's really late, and I know I sound awful, but you know, just to continue a little bit about the age of Pisces, because I don't want to let it go. I'm not going to let it go, because we just got into the age of Aquarius last year. So I was born, I'm not going to tell you, but I was born in this age, you know, and now I'm going into this age of Aquarius. And I'm trying to figure out the dynamic between the age of Aquarius and the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius, right? And then going into the age of Capricorn, which is 2,100 years from now. But please do not, my message today is, please do not dismiss the fact that the age of Aquarius means nothing, because the age of Pisces meant a lot. We as a collective are smart people. We have definitely progressed in many areas of technology and culture and you name it. You know, but the age of Aquarius is going to bring us a whole different type of innovative thoughts and ideas. There's people that are going to rise up, and you'll hear a lot about what was hidden, and you know, older folks, not as old as me, but older than me, are going to, you know, not acknowledge it, or closed-minded people may not acknowledge it and not accept this new age. But it doesn't matter, because it's gonna happen anyway. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune is the Redeemer. And I'm going to go back to Christ again. So, Neptune, the planet of redeeming, what does that mean? Well, it means, and this is, I'm not making this up, this is the truth. If you follow your birth chart and astrology, you'll see that Neptune is really a planet where whatever you did in your past life or you're doing in this life, you're going to have to pay for it. Something or someone has to be sacrificed for what you've done in your past life or in this life. Most likely in your past life, because we are a bloodline. We have ancestors, right? We come from ancestors. Okay? We also have past lives. Fun fact about me, I do past life regression. I'm just tapping into past life regression. I don't always do it, but it's come to me naturally. It's a little scary sometimes. Sometimes I'm okay with going into the past life regression. Sometimes it's a little scary. But who was sacrificed in this redeeming planet that we call the age of Pisces? Well, Jesus. Jesus paid for our sins, right? Isn't that why he was crucified? And so the Lord was happy. And I'm not going to say which Lord this is, because that's telling too much. But you know the story, and I know my story, but He was sacrificed in order to save the human race. And so begins the age of Pisces. And now we need to learn in the age of Aquarius to ascend. Okay, we're no longer in the redeeming phase. We are no longer in the regression phase, because Neptune does also rule past life regression. I want to let you know that you need to clean your bloodline. And what does that mean? Well, for one thing, Pisces brought in a lot of abuse, whether it's verbal, physical, sexual. A lot of magicians, saints, demonic stuff was all in the age of Pisces. And I'm not saying that was an illusion or not illusion, but they also misconstrued a lot of the truth. And so, you know, if your bloodline has a history of toxicity, our job as parents, as siblings, as teachers, as mentors, as neighbors, friends, but especially as family, with your kids. I mean, I hate to say kids, but, you know, children. Kids are for goats. Kids are goats. We have to clean that toxicity. And even if you don't have children, you have nieces and nephews, or even if you deal with children in this age of Aquarius, teach them the right way. If you're not clean inside within yourself, meaning your blood is not clean, cleansed, healed, forgived, and this toxicity that runs in your family, or the toxicity that you see in the world, if they're not taught the right way, this will continue into the age of Capricorn. And so your bloodline will not be clean for the age of Capricorn. And what is the age of Capricorn? Well, I had mentioned the 3 planets, right? Saturn rules Capricorn, Uranus rules Aquarius, and Neptune rules Pisces. Saturn was basically the last planet before Uranus came in, or was discovered. Came in and was discovered. But came in and dancing a whole different type of, like, on its own orbit. Believe it or not, Uranus and Neptune, they don't orbit the same way the other planets do. They literally orbit very differently, almost upside down, instead of the way they orbit. Their equator is basically our north and south pole. So they rotate differently from us. It's not a coincidence. I wouldn't say a coincidence, but I'm looking for a word, but I can't look for the word. The point is that it's called the alien planet for a reason. It's like somebody just put it there. The age of Capricorn, which is Saturn, which is the last planet astrologers believed to exist before they discovered Uranus and Neptune and then Pluto. Capricorn rules legacy. It rules status. It rules recognition, pain, pleasure. It is the age of divination, the divine. So you're sitting here telling me, yeah, we're in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius, I'm letting you know, and this is my rant, it might not have sounded like a rant, but the age of Aquarius is all about cleaning your bloodline. among other things. But in my channeling, that I came here in front of the camera looking like shit to tell you, is about cleaning bloodlines. If you don't start cleaning bloodlines within your family, if you don't start cleaning bloodlines for the children that you know are being abused in any way or need our help, it's going to go into the age of Aquarius. The age of Capricorn. So even though we'll be long dead, and these children will be long dead, this is going to continue. And so this is what I mean by cleaning bloodlines. Let's heal ourselves within. And I don't care what I sound like. I'm weird. Okay, whatever. Some weird shit's coming out of my mouth right now. Okay, yeah, okay. It is. But I'm letting you know, the age of Aquarius definitely has to do with cleaning bloodlines. So if you know that you are not healed within, you cannot clean bloodlines. You cannot teach your children, to be a certain way, the way Jesus or Martin Luther King had wanted us to be, okay? And that's basically my rant, if you want to call it a rant. And I'm sorry, it wasn't actually a short video. It was actually 20 minutes of video time. But I will continue. I really always wanted to do an Age of Aquarius video, but for some reason I just was never ready, and it's such a vast of information. I'm sorry, that's my son screaming. I told him I'm recording. Yes, he's awake at 11 o'clock at night. Shame on mommy. He has no school. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say, as well as I will do an Age of Aquarius, maybe where it's a little bit not just about ranting, and I hope I gave you some information about what this whole thing means. Even if you caught a snippet, it's okay, because I really do want to get into the meaning of the Age of Aquarius. I just did a video on Taurus, by the way, and I spoke about the Age of Aquarius because the Age of Aquarius is starting in the sign of Taurus. So look at the part 1 video of Taurus, and I think that video in part 1 says it all when it comes to starting the Age of Aquarius. I hit it like right on the money, but you could watch part 2 and part 3, because I do the reading in part 2 and part 3. So it'd be very interesting. It was a pretty interesting energy that came out of that reading. All right, good night, everyone. Bye.